Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Cameron. I'm an instructor here at ELEV8 Aviation, and I'm going to be taking you guys along on a flight with a renter to New Orleans. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, so I just got to the school. I'm going to go ahead and go brief with the student now. We got our other instructor Garrett up here. He's getting caught up on some paperwork. So I'm going to go head back to one of our briefing rooms here. We have 2 dedicated briefing spaces, and then in the very back we have a little hangout and social area. So we're gonna go ahead and brief now. Here's Chris. He's who I'll be flying with to New Orleans, Louis Armstrong. So we're gonna do a quick little brief. We'll walk you through that, and then we'll get wheels up. All right, so now we're doing our pre-flight briefing. Pre-flight briefing is super important. We're gonna go ahead and go over the weather, any NOTAMs pertaining to the departure or arrival airport. We're gonna go ahead and look at cruising altitudes, find the most favorable one with the least amount of fuel burn and the most amount of tailwind if possible. We're also gonna make sure that we're familiar with our whole flight plan, make sure that we're not gonna go into any airspace that we're not allowed to go into, and basically just figure out all the stuff that we need for the flight on the ground, because it's much easier on the ground than in the air. So here's Chris checking everything, making sure it all looks good. And once we're both briefed and we're both familiar with what we're gonna do and our intentions, we'll go ahead and head out to the airplane. Alrighty guys, so now that we got the pre-flight briefing all completed, we're gonna go head out to the hangar and we're gonna do the aircraft pre-flight briefing. It's just as important as doing a thorough flight plan briefing. We're gonna do the same depth of basically pre-flight actions on the aircraft. We're gonna check the oil, fuel, basically the whole airframe, make sure that there's no damage, make sure we have air in the tires, good tread, good brakes, all that stuff. Flight controls are free and correct, all the systems are up to date and running as they should. And basically the reason why we do this is because we'd obviously much rather find the reason or any issues on the ground versus in the air. So Chris right now is doing the pre-flight. He's checking all the flight controls, making sure everything looks good. And then we'll check the fuel, oil, propeller, just all the systems. And then if that's all good, we'll go ahead and pull the plane out, get it started up, and then we'll get airborne. Quick little fun fact about airplanes is airplanes actually store their fuel in the wings. Better for weight distribution and stability. So right here is our fuel cap. I go ahead and pull that off. That's where we hold all of our fuel. So basically when we open that, we're checking to make sure that the quantity is correct and that we have what we need. We're also checking the color. So this aircraft burns 100 low lead, which is actually a blue tinted fuel. So it looks like blue Gatorade. And then what we're gonna do with the fuel is we're also gonna check the quality by sumping it, which is basically draining fuel from the lowest point in the wing to make sure that there's no water or debris, since it's more dense than fuel in the fuel system, so we don't clog any injectors or anything like that once we're in flight. So now Chris is hopping in the plane. He's gonna finish doing the internal part of the aircraft pre-flight as well as wrap up the external portions. Alrighty, so me and Chris, we just got the engine going. We're gonna go ahead and get everything programmed, pick up the weather, and then we're gonna get our taxi clearance, craft clearance, and then we're gonna take off.
And runway 35. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions.
I'd like to pick up our IFR clearance over to Kilo Mike Sierra Yankee with Sierra.
November 769, Vintage Charlie Gulf Shores ground includes Louis Armstrong International Airport as filed. On departure, climb maintain 2000, expect 6010. Departure frequency 120.65 and squawk 3030.
Okay, we're cleared to Louis Armstrong as filed. Climb maintain 2000, expect 6000 in 10 minutes. Departure 2065, squawking 3030. 9 Victor Charlie.
November 769, Victor Charlie, readback is correct. Advise ready to taxi information, Sierra.
Well advised, we have Sierra.
Alright guys, so Chris just picked up his craft clearance. So we got our clearance, our routing, our altitude, our frequencies, and our transponder squawk code so ATC can see us. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get all that programmed right now. Once we get that program, we're gonna taxi, and then we'll be airborne here shortly. Alrighty guys, so now we're doing our run-up check. For the run-up, we're just making sure that the engine parameters are all healthy, at a high power setting, and that all of our systems are operational. So now Chris is checking our ignition system.
Good.
We have a dual ignition system that's all engine driven, so if you lose a battery in flight, actually you won't lose the engine. Even if you lose the alternator, the engine will run all independently.
Engine parameters, green, 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 green. Green, in, fuel set.
Pilots love to see green.
Love
right, Chris?
Green, love green.
Love green. Alrighty guys, so we're now up in our climb. We've got autopilot engaged.
We're climbing at
775 Juliet,
600
lead
feet
out
per
to
minute,
restriction.
passing through 4,500, climbing up to 6,000 feet. 6,000 feet will be our cruising altitude to take us all the way to New Orleans. So Chris has got everything dialed in. He's doing great. Got everything programmed. He actually just got back from the
that
Masters
radio
golf
works
course,
good.
Augusta National. He went out there with his son and some friends and played really, really well. So you guys might see him on the tour here pretty soon. I'd keep an eye peeled for that. We're cruising at 6,000 feet.
7 Juliet,
We got everything all dialed in. We just got done running our cruise checklist. So in the cruise checklist, we're basically going from the climb setting now to our cruise setting. So we're going to reduce some engine power so we can reduce wear and tear. Right now we're sitting at 130 indicated, 157 knots of ground speed, which is remarkable from a four-cylinder piston-driven single-engine land aircraft. You don't really see that in any other single-engine land aircraft. We have the speed right now of a multi-engine, which is remarkable. Straight and level at 6,000 feet. We got autopilot on, so that's going to reduce pilot workload tremendously. Everything looks good. We're burning 11.3 gallons per hour. And we have 105 nautical miles to go. Looks like we're 40 minutes out, doing 160 knots over the ground. So, you doing good, Chris? Having fun?
Beautiful up here. Nothing like flying a Cirrus.
Nothing like it. You can't beat it.
Maintain VFR 3.
All right, guys. So we're up here at cruise altitude, cruising at 6,000 feet, doing 157 knots over the ground, 131 indicated. All of our engine parameters are looking healthy. Lots of green, which is really good. 11.4 gallons per hour of fuel burn, just super duper low for the performance we're getting. I think the coolest thing about flying out of Gulf Shores Airport is Gulf Shores is about 2 miles north of the coastline. So we have all of these basically island chains that go all the way from practically Gulf Shores to New Orleans. Uninhabited, but they're really, really pretty, and lots of them are just national wildlife refuges. So you'll see a lot of birds out there, some dolphins off the coast sometimes. Right here is Mobile area. So the city's back there. That is the port of Mobile. Lots of tankers and ships go into there, drop off cargo and oil and everything else. But yeah, the coastline is absolutely gorgeous. And we could not have asked for better weather. Right now we have 17 knots of a quartering tailwind, which is why our ground speed's awesome. But we're still doing 130 indicated and 136 true. So we'll check back in once we're going to begin our descent. But this is what flying with ELEV8 looks like.
So now I'm checking all the instruments, engine performance, electrical performance, fuel quantities, fuel calcs, making sure everything's in the green. Power's good, RPM's good, manifold pressure's good. Fuel flow is good, 11.4 gallons, and we're picking up 130 knots of ground speed, pretty effective. Oil green, pressure's green. All the electricals are in the green, as you can see, and we're monitoring the fuel balance throughout the flight. So all good.
So yeah, Chris just checked our engine parameters and all of our system parameters, made sure everything looks good. It's all healthy, like he said. And then over here, primary flight display, all of our instruments, everything looks good. We also have a message page and an alert page where we can check stuff if there's any issues, which we don't have anything. Chris is super on top of it. And also, we're just in awe over the view. So right now, we're about to pass over a little intercoastal island chain right here. I mean, can you beat this view? This is unbelievable. Now, 32 miles out from 32 miles away from New Orleans, MSY. We're about 12 minutes out. We got the city in sight now, so we got New Orleans just out to our west. We're on a heading currently from air traffic control. We're going to be doing an instrument approach into runway 11.
7 out of Victor Charlie, flighting 260.
260, 9 Victor Charlie.
And over out of Victor Charlie, just going to maintain 4,000.
Leaving 6 for 4,000, 9 Victor Charlie.
All right, so what you guys just heard happen is Chris just got a new heading to turn to, and we also got a decrease in our altitude. So we're cruising straight and level at 6,000 feet. Over here, now we're going to begin descending into New Orleans. So Chris just plugged in on the autopilot the altitude that he is desiring up top, and you see that we have a 600 foot per minute descent down to 4,000 feet, doing 167 over the ground, and we're now on that heading 260. ATC just assigned us. So basically, air traffic control is going to be giving us radar vectors. They have our aircraft position on a computer screen, and they're basically gonna give us headings to fly and route us to the runway. So they do a lot of the workload here. Instead of us having to figure out how to get in there, they're gonna basically provide it for us, and then Chris is gonna do a instrument approach, which is a approach you do into you know, the airport when there's low clouds or low visibility. So we just began our descent. It's absolutely beautiful outside. I could not ask for any better conditions.
Landing light is on. Fuel system is on the fuel tank. Mixture is required. Brake pressure, we're going to check the brakes. Feels good. And we will fly the autopilot to the ILS approach, runway 11 into New Orleans, and we will disengage at 300 feet.
All right, guys, so Chris just did our descent checklist. Make sure that everything is set up as it should be. When we're descending, we're going to go from a thinner atmosphere to a more dense atmosphere. So that being said, we need a little more fuel to be fed to the engine for optimal parameters. So now we're just on a heading assigned by ATC, and we're gonna wait till we get the next turn to get vectored a little bit closer to the runway. So right here is downtown New Orleans. Absolutely beautiful. Me and Chris are gonna go head down there in a crew car, which is basically a rental car that the airport gives you for free to go either run errands, go to a meeting, or go get some food while you can leave the plane parked at the airport. So that is another, I mean, amazing benefit as a pilot. You can fly to cities that you have never been to. You can get a car from the airport for free and either go check out the city, do some sightseeing, go grab some lunch, take a little rest or something before we go fly back to Gulf Shores. All right, guys, so me and Chris are doing our final descent down in New Orleans. We should be on the ground here in about 4 minutes. Going to be doing a GPS approach to runway 11, and then going to go park the plane, go grab some lunch. Alrighty, so we just landed, cleared the runway, did our after landing checklist, and obtained our taxi clearance to now go to the FBO.
All right, guys, so me and Chris got to the airport, got the plane all parked, it's getting fueled up. We're now in the car on the way to go get some lunch. I'm not from the South. I've lived on the West Coast my whole life, but Chris knows the area quite well, and he knows some good Southern dishes. So we're gonna go get some Southern food. I'm excited. I haven't really got to experience too much of it, so it'll be a good time, and we'll let you know what restaurant we end up going to. So me and Chris, we made it down to the quarter. So we're walking to Brennan's right now for lunch. We're gonna go get some gumbo or some po' boys, something Southern, little staple. So super excited. I've never really been to New Orleans, or at least like the actual city. I've only flown in a few times. So we had a great flight over here, super smooth, no hiccups. We got right in, parked the plane. We're gonna get some fuel services while we're leaving it there, and gonna go get our stomachs filled up with some delicious food. How was the flight, Chris?
It was about as good as it gets, you know, very smooth, had great friendly air traffic controllers today, and no traffic delays coming into New Orleans is Louis V. Armstrong, and now we're downtown New Orleans in the French Quarter. A lot of history down here, and a lot of great restaurants, shops. If you ever come over here, there's a lot to do. Museums, walking along the river, the parks, Audubon Park, golf. But everybody thinks of New Orleans as Bourbon Street, so that's where we are.
So, yep, you heard it from the man. He's not only a great pilot, but also the best tour guide I could ask for. So he's gonna show me around the city, and we'll check back in a bit.
85, positive rate, flaps are up.
All right, guys, so me and Chris, back in the plane, we're coming from 4,000 to 7,000 feet. We just got out of the New Orleans Bravo. We're flying back to Gulf Shores Instrument. So they kept us low there. Lots of arrivals. As you hear, the frequency's super busy. But we're now cleared to 7,000 feet, which will be our cruising altitude. We have a little bit of a headwind on the way back, so it'll take a little bit longer. But we're showing it'll be an hour, hour 1 minute from New Orleans to Gulf Shores, which is pretty remarkable for a single engine. So, how you doing, Chris?
All good. Another beautiful day up here in the sky, smooth.
You truly can't beat it.
Cirrus 769 Victor Charlie is with you, level 7,000.
Cirrus 769 Victor Charlie, mobile approach, mobile altimeter 3014.
149 Victor Charlie.
So me and Chris are still up here at cruise. We're getting close to Gulf Shores. We're about 25 minutes away, 60 miles to go. Got some pretty decent headwinds up here, but we're still doing 138 over the ground, 150 true, 132 indicated.
November 24 with you, Roger.
Super smooth skies. We could not have picked a better day to fly.
2000, departure frequency 118.5.
And we got all the islands absolutely beautiful out here. It's been a really, really good flight. Probably one of my most memorable flights so far in the Cirrus. Look at these wonky vectors to final. Never seen that before.
All right, guys, me and Chris made it back here to ELEV8 Aviation. We had a phenomenal flight to New Orleans, got some lunch, checked out the square, came on back here to Gulf Shores. It was amazing. We're really, really looking forward to doing it again. And I hope you guys enjoyed following along, seeing what it's like to train here with our aircraft or do our transition training course and come rent our aircraft just like Chris. Thank you.